So now we've learned how to format tables in some detail, but if you had a lot of tables to format, it would be really tedious to go through this process for each and every one of them. Fortunately, InDesign has a feature called Table Styles and Cell Styles, and these let you apply lots of table formatting with a single click. I'll select this text frame inside my 15F roux catalog file from the exercise files folder, and I'm going to zoom in to 200% by pressing Command 2 or Control 2. Whenever you're creating table styles or cell styles, it's very important that you start with your paragraph styles. I'm going to double-click inside this frame here and select a few of these rows. Now I'll go to my paragraph styles panel and I'm going to choose the paragraph style that's supposed to be assigned to these, called body. Now I have not yet made paragraph styles for some of these other things. For example, these section starts. I'll click in there, go to the paragraph styles panel menu and choose new paragraph. And I'll call this Section Start. Before I click OK, I'm going to turn on the Apply Style to Selection checkbox. Then I'll click OK, and we'll see that it's applied it to that paragraph. I need to do the same thing to these headers up here. Click in there, make a new paragraph style, and I'll call this Table Headers. Apply Style, and OK. Now that I have the three basic paragraph styles that I'm going to be using inside this table, I'm going to go open the Cell Styles panel. I can get there by going to the Window menu, choosing the Style submenu, and then choosing Cell Styles. Now, when you're making table styles, you're going to be tempted to jump to the Table Styles panel first, but don't do it. Start with Paragraph Styles, then go to Cell Styles, and then we'll go to Table Styles in just a minute. Now, I already have a few cell styles set up here, but I'm going to create some new ones. To make a new cell style, click inside one of the cells that you want to copy. In this case, I'm going to click in one of the body cells, one that has the body paragraph style applied to it. Then I'll go to the Cell Styles panel menu and choose New Cell Style. I'm going to call this Course Table Body. That sounds good. And now before I click OK, it's very important that I choose a paragraph style here from the Paragraph Style pop-up menu. I'm going to choose Body. In other words, whenever this cell style called Course Table Body is applied, it will also apply the Body Paragraph style. Now let's do this for the header. I'll click OK, click in the header, go to my Cell Styles panel and choose New Cell Style, and I'll call this Course Table Head. There we go. And the paragraph style that this one needs to apply is Table Header, the one that I just created. I'll click OK. Now, because I don't know exactly where in my table these section starts are going to go, they'll change from table to table, I can't add those to my table style. As we'll see in a minute, the table style can only contain the header style and the body style, not these section styles. But that's okay, I should still make a cell style for it. Let's go do that. I'll click inside this section and then make a new cell style. This one's going to use the paragraph style called Section Start. Okay, I've made the cell styles. Now it's finally time to go to the Table Styles panel. You'll see it's part of this panel group, so I'll just click on its tab at the top. I'll head up to the Table Styles panel menu and choose New Table Style. And I'm going to call this table style Course Table. You can call it anything you want, of course. Now, down at the bottom of this dialog box is the key to making this whole thing work. The Cell Styles section lets me tell the table style what cell styles to apply to what part of my table. That's why we needed to make our cell styles first. Whenever this table style is applied, the header rows are going to get the Course Table Head cell style. And the body rows, all the ones in the middle, are going to be given the Course Table Body cell style. You'll see that you can also apply cell styles to the footer, left, and right columns of our table. In this case, we don't need that. Now that's all I need to do here, so I'll click OK, and now you can see that you have a table style called Course Table. When I click on that table style, it's going to apply it to the entire table. Even these cells down here that didn't currently have the cell style applied to them, it applies it. Now, as I said, the section starts are not technically part of the table styles because it doesn't know where in my table those are. But I see I've got one here, and I have one at the top of the table here. To apply those cell styles, I simply click inside the cell, go to the Cell Styles panel, and then click on the cell style. I'll do the same thing up here. Click inside Animation, and then apply the cell style. You may notice that these two cells, the two section starters, have different heights. That's because the size of a cell, its height or its width, is never saved inside a cell style, only its formatting. Okay, now for the ultimate test. Can we apply this table style to a brand new table? I'm going to zoom out to 100% by pressing Command 1 or Control 1 on Windows, And then I'm going to go to the View menu and turn off Match Pasteboard to Theme Color, just so that my pasteboard becomes white. Makes it easier to see something I put out there. I have the Type tool selected right now, and I'm simply going to drag out a text frame. And then I'm going to place a Word document that has a table in it. So I'll go to the File menu, choose Place, and the file I want to place is called Roux Catalog Data, docx. That's the Word document file. Click Open, and in comes that table, along with some other text. So now, to format that table, all I need to do is click inside it, go back to my Table Styles panel, and then click my table style. Now, it's important to remember that table styles and cell styles only remember formatting. They don't remember structure. So, for example, in this case, it does not know that the first row here should be a header row. So I have to do that manually. I'll click inside this row, or I could select it, then go to the Table menu and say Convert this whole row to a header. All right, suddenly it looks a little bit better because InDesign now knows that first row is a header row. The table style also doesn't remember things like how wide these columns should be, so I would have to do that manually. Drag this in, make this much narrower, and so on. You get the idea. So table styles aren't perfect, they don't remember everything, you still have to do some work manually, but ultimately they can still shave hours of work off a project.